What's good? What's poppin'? It's your girl Emby, and we're back with another video, y'all. And in today's video, we are talking about a very sensitive subject. We are talking about some texting commandments, y'all, because some of y'all don't know how to text. Some of your friends don't know how to text. Some of your boyfriends, your girlfriends, whatever it is, y'all don't know how to text. So in today's video, we're going to go through what you should and shouldn't do when you're texting someone. But before we get into it, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, follow our socials, they'll be linked in the description, and share this video with your friends because I know they're bad texters too. The first commandment on my list is, it goes without saying, but don't leave anyone on read, don't leave anyone undelivered. Simple as that. If you're gonna open the text, and you're like, honestly, I would rather you come up with an excuse for why you're gonna stop texting me than to just open it and leave me on read. Like, don't be disrespectful. Like, come on. The second commandment on my list is, do not reply 5 days later. If I text you today, that means I want to talk to you today, not in the next day, not 5 days later. And especially when I ask like a question and then the person doesn't reply for a couple of days, I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, come on. I'm asking you that question because I need an answer that day, not 5 days later. So, simple, don't reply 5 days later. The third commandment, don't spam highs. Do you know how annoying that gets, bro? Like, I understand most people, like, I understand you trying to get my attention, like, in the moment, like, right then and there. But if you keep spamming hi, like, I'm gonna, like, and I have to scroll through it, I'm gonna be annoyed. I'm gonna be like, no, I'm not replying. Like, it just gets annoying. Like, it's not even that. It's just so annoying. Like, just don't do it. Just don't do it, you know? Yeah, unless you're trying to be annoying and your friend, like with your friend or something, like, and your friend knows you do that, that's different. But, like, come on. Now, the fourth commandment is, this one touches home. Don't FaceTime me when we're texting. If I'm texting you and you're like, you just video call me, do you know how much work that takes? Or like you're like, oh, FaceTime, or like, oh, house party or something. I'm gonna be like, bro, like most of the time when I'm texting people, it's night. I have my bonnet on, like, you know, my face is just, I put on my moisturizers and stuff and like my zit cream or whatever, and like I'm just not, you know, ready for a FaceTime call. Now I have to go to the bathroom, take off my bonnet, do my hair proper, take off all this cream. Like, what are you doing to me? Okay, like, I'm getting ready for bed. I'm in my bed. I'm chill. I'm calm. And now you're like, oh, FaceTime? No. I just be like, no. Okay, no. So if we're texting, don't FaceTime me, especially if it's at night. Don't be like, oh, FaceTime. That's just a lot of work. I'm not vibing. Unless, like, if I ask you FaceTime, especially if it's like a guy. If it's a girl, I don't really care because, like, we're friends. But if it's a guy, like, just don't do that. Okay. Next commandment. Commandment number 5. No long paragraphs. Y'all, I don't know how many times I have to say it, but I just don't like long paragraphs. Like, if you're, like, you know, the ones that are just, you have to keep reading and reading. Like, it's better if you're just gonna have a conversation. Like, you know, like, you say something, then the person has something to reply. And then you say something, and then, you know, like, it's back and forth. But if you just send one long paragraph, and then the person sometimes just doesn't even know what to say. They're just like, oh. The response they give you won't be something that you like, and it won't be something that you can also reply to. So it's better to just have a conversation instead of just sending out one long ass paragraph. Next, we have, don't be dry. Y'all, when people are text, like, and they're dry in the text message, it's just like, it's not cool, especially when you're trying to get to know someone. Like, if you're trying to talk to someone, like, you know, get with someone, and you're like, oh, so what's your favorite food? And they're just like, oh, rice. And you're like, okay. Like, they don't know what to say, because, like, if you're gonna be like, oh, rice, oh, but I also like this and this, then the person will be like, oh, I like that too, that's so funny, I like it when my mom makes it like this. And you're like, oh, really? I like da-da-da. And, you know, like, it's a back and forth conversation, as opposed to you just being like, oh, chicken, rice, because that's just dry. And if you're gonna be dry in the text, I'm not gonna text you anymore. Like, I'm gonna find someone else to text. So don't be dry in the text. The next one is don't wait days before checking in. So if I text you today and, like, we have a good conversation and I started the conversation, like, 2 days down the road, you should be able to start the conversation. Like, it shouldn't be the same person always having to start the conversation, because after a while that person is just gonna be like, okay, well, they clearly don't care about the friendship or the relationship that we're trying to build or whatever, so they're gonna stop texting, and then you're gonna lose a friend, or your relationship is gonna be a mess. So don't always wait for the one person to start, like, to text first. Sometimes you need to text first. Number 8 is don't text a cliffhanger, okay? And what I mean by that is, don't be like, oh, I have something really important to tell you, ... And then I'm like, oh, what is it? And then you wait like 2 hours to tell me? Bro, my heart would just be pounding that whole time, bro. Because, like, you can't be like, oh, it's really important, I really need to tell you it. And then you wait so long to tell me, and I'm, like, shaking. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is going on? And I'm scared. So you need to just text. Like, if you're just gonna be like, oh, so-and-so told me then it makes the conversation a little bit easier to go. Even if you know you're someone that takes a long time to text back, at least it's, like, easier compared to being like, oh, I have to tell you something, and then 2 hours later I'm still waiting for your text. So don't do that. Next is don't argue or try to resolve issues over text. And it's not because you can't do it, it's because you shouldn't. And the reason being that when in text messages, the message can sometimes be mistranslated. If you're trying to resolve an issue and you're trying to explain something to someone, or you're trying to argue with someone or whatever, and you say something, they read it won't be the way that you intended it to sound. So if you guys are trying to, especially if you're trying to resolve an issue, instead of making the issue bigger by miscommunication, like, just call the person. You can still hear their voice. You can hear the conviction in their voice, compared to if you're texting and then they text something and you read it wrong. Like, then you guys just start a bigger issue than needed to be. So, long story short, don't try to resolve issues over text. Finally, the 10th and final commandment is don't send empty text, which is very similar to don't be dry, but for me, empty text is a little bit different, because in the empty text, it's like you guys are still communicating, and, like, it's still going back and forth, but you're not, like, it doesn't feel like you're engaged in the conversation. So you're sending, like, one word replies, or the questions you're asking are really, like, stupid. Like, be in the moment. If you don't want to text that person, just don't text the person. Even if they text you first, just be like, oh, I can't text you right now, I'm in a bad mood or something. Like, let them know, instead of being, like, dry and empty in your text, and, like, your mind is not fully there, because that makes the person feel like, oh, they don't like me. Especially if you're trying to get with someone, it's not nice, it's not fair, and it's annoying. So just Just don't do it. Okay, so that is the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you share this video with your friends and everyone that you know so that they can learn how to text too. Of course, I missed some stuff and I repeated some stuff. So if I missed anything, comment down below some other texting commandments so you can help everyone on the channel. So yeah, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Follow us on all of our socials on Instagram, add us on Snapchat. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. Deuces.